Okay, legit. We are ready to roll. Hello and welcome. I should get this stream starting soon text off of my screen. There we go. Professional streaming services right here. That is, in fact, just how we roll. Let me clean up my windows. There we go. Now I got the right number of tabs open. I can see my chat. I can see my books. I can see everything. And that's what this is all about. Don't need my cell phone there next to the camera. Alright. Boy, let's see. I know I did an unboxing of it, but I did get this Legends of the Lone Wolf stuff in the mail. So I gotta read that. I got a whole bunch of stuff here that I need to read or deal with in some way. It's all stacked up right there, including sending a book out to Brian Ball, creator of Rags. I was just looking around this ungodly mess that's all over my floor, like, okay, what do I need to... Is there anything here I need to talk about? I reckon I've got like 30 to 50 comic books that I gotta read. Like, that is a lot of comic books. Plus, I just started reading Batman The Dark Knight Returns, so I got that going for me too. Too much stuff. There's too much good stuff out there, and too much crud, and you know what? I read all of it. Let's see, we can get my little notebook out of the way. Although, one thing I did not pick up today that I was looking for, like today it was weird. I went in there looking for Catwoman 24, Wonder Woman Dead Earth, and I didn't see any Wonder Woman Dead. I don't know if I just was not like looking in the right place or what, but whatever. Because number 4 I thought was supposed to come out today. Maybe not. Maybe I was wrong. And I thought, you know what? This is probably a good opportunity to say, look at the series, like see if it's worth it. Hey, Elizi, see if there's anything cool going on, and if there is, get in on it before it's over. But I didn't see any of that. I'm just looking in here to make sure he didn't stick my receipt in between my comic books. Nope, that means he did not give me a receipt. Okay, well, that's pretty typical, Sean. So I may have to eat some crow. I gotta read it, but I may have to eat some crow on one of these books. You know what? Let's step back. So, every Wednesday I go to Graham Cracker Comics and get my books there. Because that's just what I do. Yeah. I was gonna say, what is in your pool today? Lol. Yeah, we'll get there, So, 50-cent books. I picked up some Batman stuff. Here and here. They're not in great shape. This one's got kind of a crease here with a spine roll, and it looks like it was stored badly. It was kind of crinked like that. Whatever. It was free. And I didn't own it already. And then I grabbed this X-Men book, because I collect X-Men books. Slowly. Slowly when they're free. That's how I collect them. And then that's it. We could flip through these, but I'm not going to. Well, maybe I should. Like, there could be something cool in here. Late 90s X-Men is not something I'm really familiar with, so I don't know what I'm in for. I don't know that it's really worth being in for anything. Let me crack it open. I mean, I recognize the Joe Mad art. I didn't know who the inker was. I know a lot of people are really into like Joe Mad art, but I don't know if Joe Mad art does a whole lot for me. Sometimes it looks really cool. Like, I really like this bottom panel here. He looks awesome. But there's something about the construction of this top panel I don't like. It's probably because his arms look like they're almost as wide as his torso. Holy moly. Like, what is this dude doing? What is he working out with? 3 Dirty Dwarves, yeah, I saw the ad. Let's look through these detectives real quick. There might be something cool in here. Well, I'm sold on the book already. We have a bus crashing, presumably after a sniper shot the driver or the tire or something. He was supposed to shut the tire. There we go. Brutal, dude. What are you shooting buses for? Oh, man. I was about to make a reference to historical events from like 19 years ago, but that would probably get me banned off of YouTube. What we got? Like, man, I have no idea what's going on. We got like Robin Hood here. I don't know. I have to read that and find out. We got this other Chuck Dixon Batman story here. Different artist. Very different artist. Look how ink heavy this is. All the just deep darkness. Hey, Milestone Comics. You know, when they were no, let me go back to that. That Naomi mini series or whatever it was they did. I thought that's what that was going to lead up to. Was having her lead into like the legacy of these characters or something, and then bringing all the old Milestone characters into the DC universe proper. Like, I thought that's where that was going, you know, because that was happening, and then Doomsday Clock was going on, and that kind of heralded bringing all the Watchmen characters in the DC universe. So I thought they were gonna like expand their like universe proper stuff, and then I have no idea what happened to Naomi. It blew up. The comic totally, like, issue 1 got like super valuable there for a while. It probably still is, I don't know, but it led nowhere. Absolutely led nowhere. Dude, they look awesome. I never see these books either. I never see all the old Milestone stuff. It's never in like 50-cent bins. I never see it in like back issue bins. Like, I think the people that own those books are just holding on to them so that other people can't get them. Which, hey, maybe that's a smart thing to do. I don't know. I just work here. Something about my camera angle seems really weird, but I guess it's okay. I just noticing like something. We must be tilted slightly. They are supposed to be bringing back Milestone, but I've been hearing that for 5 years. Yeah. And we'll probably keep hearing it for like the rest of our lives. Alright, what should we get to first? I got 5 books here that I bought. Oh, let's just start with the one that you've seen already. So I picked this up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give Marvel another chance. I'm going to buy myself a Marvel book. Oh yeah, we are totally goofy here. Hold on. What is going on? Is that better? I straighten it up at the top there. No, that only made it worse. See, we should be like parallel. With that. Yeah, you're just gonna have to. That's better. I don't know if it's good. Anyway, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna check this out. This could be pretty cool. This could be dope. I've been picking up Milestone books here and there on Instagram. Oh yeah, I don't really go out and shop around for stuff. And I opened it up, and I flipped open to this, which is the staple. And I was like, dude, this looks pretty cool. And when I saw these 2 pages, I was like, yeah, we are gonna give this a try. We are gonna buy Maestro here, and we're gonna read this thing. I take it up to the counter. You know, I'm all set to buy it already. And my shop man, Sean, he's like, yeah, that was pretty good. So, he has somewhat different tastes than me sometimes. But he has a pretty good read on what I like most of the time. I surprise him sometimes. But if he says it's pretty good, then I know it's at least going to be okay. And frankly, with modern comic books, I will take okay. So I'm pretty hopeful Maestro is going to be dope. I'm kind of afraid of just like flipping it open at random and just spoiling. Well, that looks kind of like a boring page. I don't know. There's probably some cool context there for reading it. And let's like flip over here. Oh yeah, there's MODOK. Lots more cool looking stuff here. Hulk with a mustache that looks goofy. I mean, with the like dark mustache, like that just looks kind of goofy. Obviously, when he's Maestro and he's got the white mustache, he looks super cool. Because white mustaches are distinguishing. Maestro is one of my favorite versions of the Hulk, but I didn't pick it up because your wallet said otherwise. Hey, I understand. I've had a couple of relatively light weeks of buying just like 2 or 3 books, it feels like. I don't know if that's actually true. So I didn't really mind going in for $5 or whatever to pick this up. All right, we're gonna set this one aside. Oh, hey, actually, let me put this down. We'll flip through it in a second. But there was something in my email I wanted to bring up. Let me open up my email here real quick. It was an email from Westfield Comics, who I did not go to. In fact, I haven't been to Westfield in a while. Let's see, where is this? There it is. DC product temporarily delayed for week of Wednesday, August 19. I would show this to you, but I would totally like dox my email address. I'm not gonna like deal with that. I don't want to deal with that right now. Wait, is there a read email in your browser button I can click on? No, there's not. Okay, yeah, so I'll just read this. So I don't know if this is going around and affecting a lot of other shops, but it's definitely hit Westfield. There was an email from Graham Crackers a month ago or something that was very similar. So apparently they're still working out the distribution kinks of the new distributors. Westfield Comics, we apologize for yet again not receiving our DC Entertainment comics for the week. Our truck is still stuck in Chicago. Womp womp. Huh. As we send this out, and we are currently being told to expect the shipment during the day on Wednesday. We should know more after we get in the store on Wednesday, so feel free to check with us after we open at 10 a.m. While we obviously take calls and emails about this matter, please realize that it will take some time to process a DC product, fill our customer subscription list before the titles can be put on the new release shelves. Sorry for any inconvenience. We'll try everything and process. Da 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 da. So I don't know if that is just due to ongoing problems with the distributor, or if that I understand that Chicago had quite the time recently, just from reading the news. They've been pulling like the bridges up over the rivers and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe if the shipment somehow got caught up in some of the shenanigans, some of the craziness going on. But either way, that's a bummer. And hey, at least Graham Crackers had the stuff, man. They had the stuff. Catwoman 24, follow-up to Catwoman 23 by Blake Northcott. I definitely enjoy her writing. We're just going to open this up. I just grabbed this off the shelf. There we go. I didn't open it. I don't know what's lurking for me inside, so we're going to flip this thing open to... This seems like a good page. This seems like a good page right here. And it's an ad. Over here. Over here's not an ad. Looks pretty cool. There's Snowflame being Snowflamey. I don't know what's going on, really. But it looks like it's a hoot. Let's flip open to another random page. Oh my gosh. We got lasers, Catwoman whipping people, Snowflame as a cocaine-powered machine gun-toting Tony Montana. Like, okay. I'm sold on the book. I'm not even going to look at it anymore. But this looks pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. Look at his eyes, man. That looks pretty cool. That definitely looks pretty cool. And I see from the laser thing we got going on here that we are definitely kind of carrying on the Catwoman Impossible kind of thing that we had going on in the previous issue. Blake Northcott has become the subject of controversy recently because she updated her Twitter profile and unfollowed literally everybody, which might actually have included me because I think she was following me at one point. She's definitely dropped in on my stream and chatted in the chat section there once or twice. So, I don't know, man. Controversy is not good for business. It's not good for anybody. But she was probably ordered to do whatever by, you know, her soulless corporate overlords at AT&T. I don't know, man. I don't read Catwoman. I just got this because of the author. But it's definitely, like, a very classic costume. I feel like DC always does this where midway through the run they change the character's costume without explaining. Yeah, well, you're not wrong. But this isn't even midway through the run. Like, this is a two-issue run, and that's it. If you call that like a run, it's not. That's more like here we are having a mini series of 2 issues, and we're just numbering it Catwoman 23 and 24 instead of Catwoman vs. Snowflame, Cocaine Paradise, Part 1 and 2 or something. What is the official title of this? Hold on. I'm gonna... They usually put that kind of stuff like at the back. I hate DC because they can't make up their mind. Next issue says something about the Joker War, and is there no credit page with the title? I am not seeing... Oh, there it is. So the title is The Price to Pay. Man, I would totally would have went with like Cocaine War or something like that. Would have been dope. So yeah, DC's just willy-nilly changing names. I might have should have got a different one off the shelf because this one's got a spine roll to it. But the ones on the shelf also had spine rolls here for Rye number 6. This is like, how overdue? This is like at least a month overdue. This is... I should have had this in my hands a long time ago. Don't know why I didn't. Absolutely don't know why. I haven't opened it yet, so I don't know what we're getting into. Bam! Honestly, I don't know that that's doing a whole lot for me. I don't know if that's doing a whole lot for me. Either page, the ad or the panels on the left. Oh, are we back to hanging out with the Beast People again? I guess we are hanging out with the Beast People again. Okay. I mean, they were a fun little thing to run into in Fallen World. I guess I don't mind. I would just like to see Rye be totally awesome and do something amazing. Maybe, please. Please. We're not going to dwell on that, though. We're not going to dwell on that. I like the cover. Cover's definitely action-packed. But not as striking as Once in Future number 10, where I don't even know who's getting stabbed by who right here, but it's really cool. I've been digging this series. It has been a good bit of fun. It has definitely been an enjoyable book. Maybe a little predictable, maybe a little trite. After all, it is basically playing around with like Arthurian legend. So if you have some idea, man, I open up to like an explosion or something. Oh, is she just like slinging? It's red, so molten lead or silver or something. Look, man, Grandma is one tough lady. That's all I gotta say. Grandma is bad. No wonder she used to do this stuff, you know? Let's see. Oh, let me go back and read your chat here. I just don't think Valiant's doing your favorite characters right. Bloodshot's always been good, but Exo, Rye, and everything else just isn't cutting. I don't know. I think Rye has been... Once I figured out like what was going on in the series, I think it's been okay. It's been very introspective and speculative. Like, it's trying to just do like a sci-fi book as opposed to a sci-fi superhero book, you know, where he's just battling the soulless minions of Orthodoxy or something. All that time that he spends bantering with Raijin, I think has been really good stuff. Their dynamic is interesting because they're representing like different points of view in the matter. You know, the two viewpoint characters, I guess if you want to call them that, are different. They have different perspectives. One is seeking the other's approval. The other is using the one just as a tool and is going to kill him. So there's definitely like some crazy stuff going on there. And look at this, man. Once in Future. Don't know what's going on, but it looks great. I love the coloring in this book, by the way. Absolutely fantastic stuff. The otherworldliness of the other world really helps sell the book. It's kind of like Coda. Is that the right book? Yeah, Coda had those absolutely like acid dropping crazy colors to it. It was fantastic to look at. your eyes would just like drink it in, and it'd be like, wow. Every time magic was around. Same thing here. Every time that something from the mythological world gets involved, you get these crazy greens, you get like lush purples, pinks, that whole otherworldly color palette. Looks great. I kind of forgot what was going on in the story, though, if I'm honest. Beowulf. Oh, that's right. I think the last issue ended off with like Beowulf crashing the main character's car or something like that. So hopefully this is going to be pretty good. I'm not going to flip through it though, because I don't want to spoil it for myself. And that just leaves me to one book. One bookaroonie. One single a bookaroo. Hold on, I'm just checking on something here. Okay, that's something I need to talk about here. I was just seeing if there was like some cool Rags campaign update I could provide, since I got tagged in something on the Rags Discord, but it had nothing to do with that, so I apologize for the awkward silence. We will, however, before I open this up, because I think I got to talk about, I got to eat a big slice of humble pie. I got to eat some crow. So before we get to the crow eating, before we get there, let me let's bring up the Kickstarter, and I guess I can show all this on YouTube. Like, nothing really bad here. Let's see, show right monitor. That's that button. Yeah, there we go. For some reason, they decided to give me access to look at stuff here, so I can like look at the updates and things. I don't really understand what's going on, but none of that really matters. What does matter is, look at this. They broke 11K. 11 days to go. That's a funny coincidental number. Cool campaign. If you're out there checking this out and you want to get into a story about a veteran who is having a very bad day with zombies, dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder, the whole thing's a metaphor. At least in this story arc, the whole thing is a metaphor for getting over PTSD, bonding with friends, insecurity, all that kind of stuff. Check out Rags. You can just search on Kickstarter for Rags, and you will be able to find it. It's your way, if you're not part of the Patreon, to get in here and totally just pick up the first 6 issues for, I think it's $45 plus shipping, something like that. Check it out. Cool comic. Alright, back to... Oh, thanks, you know, I leave these Brave ads turned on, and they like to ambush me when I'm streaming, man. They just wait. Have you read Pop Kill? No, I have not read Pop Kill. I absolutely have not. Is it about looking for pants, or is the looking for pants just the other thing that Regina's doing? Because I was trying to avoid making things sound too trashy. Hold on. Okay, my work cell phone was like, yo, dude, you need to do some stuff. But then there was nothing to do. There was absolutely nothing to be done. It was just falsely triggering me, because that's technology. That's technology. Don't trust it. Don't trust technology. Because it's controlled by people. There you go. Words of wisdom. Oh, man. All right, let's see. So, the crow eating. The big slice of humble pie. Now, when I saw this, and even my shop man, even Sean was like, yeah, that's what I thought it was going to be. When I saw this, I was like, really? We have a guidebook? We have a thing to tell us about your event, because your event is so complicated that you're just going to make us have to read about it? Like, that's ludicrous. Well, I'm looking for the blog post I wrote on this topic, and I am not... Hey, there we go. Oh no, I don't want to edit it. I want to view it. There we go. So, over on social media site, Hive, I totally wrote a thing here, and I'm just like, what is going on? And I gotta eat humble pie, because that's not at all what's going on. No, it's just a straight up comic book. Why is it called what it's called? It's just a comic book that's meant to, like, why didn't this come out first? Why was this not Dark Knight's Metal, Death Metal Zero? Like, why is this a whole separate thing? I don't understand. I'm not going to pretend I understand. I don't get it. I don't get why it's called this, and it wasn't like Dark Knight's Death Metal Prequel, or Dark Knight's Death Metal Origin, or Dark Knight's Death Metal number 0. Like, that's what it seems like it should be, because that's what it is. That's what it actually is. It's a comic book that just tells you how the Batman Who Laughs took over everything. Like, that kind of stuff is just in here to tell you about the world, and why that was not... Why this had to be like some special issue that came out after issue 1 of the miniseries, I don't know. I don't get it. It blows my meager, feeble mind. So I'm going to have to read this, and then I will probably have to make a video correction or write another essay to correct what I wrote about this, because it's not what I thought. My shop man, Sean, he's like, yeah, I ordered it the same way as what I would have ordered, like exactly the, Who's Who or something of a comic book series. So there were not that many of these on the shelf when I got there. Now, granted, it didn't sell out instantly. Like, what is it, the Death Metal Legends of the Dark Knight or whatever, that was bought just to be scalped. I will never read that. I will just have to come to terms with the fact that I will never read whatever was in that book. And thus I will not get to ride the gravy train to, Speculator Town, where that book is worth like $1,000 or something ridiculous. Whatever. These are comic books. Comic books are made to be read. They're made to be disposable. I understand collecting them because I collect them, but people get into that speculator game, man. And while I can appreciate people who make older stuff available, like if I were to bust open my box full of Amazing Spider-Mans or something and sell them at, way higher than what I bought them for, that would be legit. Or like that dude I got a whole bunch of my comics from that was selling stuff because he and his brother were moving or whatever. Like, I get that. You should definitely be able to, like, turn around and get some money back out of your investment, your time, your years, your cash. So people selling, like, back issue stuff, like, I get that. That doesn't bother me. But man, when somebody buys, all the books that are new on a given day, just so they can sell them on eBay, same day, or worse, people take pre-orders on stuff that's not even out yet. It's like, how can you do that? You're not a comic book shop. And it's because they intend to go to their store and buy like 100 copies of it. Hey, Ninja Weasel, my dude. There is indeed Batman. When I started the stream, it actually picked up the title from 2 weeks ago for no reason. I'll read your chat in a second, Eli Easy. So, we definitely have Batman. Like, it's just kind of fortunate. It picked up that old title. But it's like, well, I got Batman books. I can kind of leave the old title there and just show them. Plus, I think Catwoman counts as, like, honorary, like, Batman adjacent. So we definitely got some Bat Madness. Plus, Dark Knight's Death Metal Guidebook. I mean, this is all about Bat Madness right here. Just flip this open. Presumably, there's a Batman somewhere in this book. Obviously not on this page. Unless, no, we're just going to shut it. We're going to shut it because I don't want to spoil anything. Alright. I like the speculating on new characters. Wonder Woman $7.59 shouldn't be $20 a day. Really? Really? Yeah. $20 a day? That Dark Knight's Legends of the whatever book, man, that was Sold out literally everywhere. Like, you can even go to Midtown Comics and buy one, and if you go to eBay, it's like $35 to $50 for like a $6 book. I'm not talking like this is the special, super limited, ultra omega edition. You know, like I don't know. Here, these are issues of Lone Wolf in color with different covers. So this isn't like the regular issue. This is like some variant. That you can kind of understand because there's artificial scarcity. They only printed 100 of them or whatever. I get it. I get why you would make that more expensive. But when it's just like, yeah, we printed 25,000 or 50,000 of them and they're all sold out. Who are people going to sell them to? Who out there in the world is going to buy something that has like 50,000 copies, is not like a misprint, is not rare in any way, and is going to pay $25? I guess it worked because, you know, the same 10 people bought every copy up total ever made. But that's kind of scummy, man. That's kind of scummy. That's my beef with speculator, or with like that kind of person. Like, I don't mind people that buy comic books to resell them later. Like, if you bought a couple copies and you know what, you waited 3 months and then you sold them because people were looking for it, like, that is cool. You actually kind of did them a service because there's a good chance that those books would just like rotted on the shelf or, you know, been marked unsold and destroyed, so they would have ripped the covers. Like, I get it. Like, you have invested time, you invested money, you've taken care of the books, you deserve something. But if you're just like flipping them on eBay same day, that's scummy, man. Ah. The rant happened. I was trying not to do it. I was trying not to do it, Eli. But it happened. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. That actually like kind of sapped my energy. I did start finally getting to clean up some of the mess in my office. So I got that going for me. I got my DC books that were stacked up in the floor all sorted out and put into short boxes. I actually had to bust out I had an extra BCW bin. So I had to bust that sucker out and put them in there, at least temporarily. I've got 2 short boxes that are in the floor over here, but they got stuff in them, and I don't know how I'm going to clear those out. So that's like my big comic news here. Is I put like 50 books away today. No, last night. That was last night I did that. Wait, was it? Wow! I don't even know. Huh! That's how tired I am. I am really tired this week. I have not been getting like amazing sleep. Death metal. Hey, Shaman Langham. Hey, Shaman Langham. Do you want to get on a call and talk about your writing or anything, man? Like, I know you've been doing some writing. I know you've been doing some work on your game and stuff in your free time, which is exceedingly scarce. If you got like any updates you want to give people or something, let me know. Let's see, Eli Easy. I read Ninja Momiji the other day at your recommendation, and I really hope there'll be an issue 2. Oh, I hope so as well. Rodrigo is kind of... Let me go ahead and send you that call invite. Start voice call. Rodrigo is kind of strapped for cash. That's why he actually canceled his crowdfund for it. Was he had no money and the exchange rate was going the wrong way. He lives in Mexico, so the exchange rate between pesos and dollars was bad. Hey, my dude, welcome to the party.
Greetings, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay, but I'm going to mute the music so that you're a little louder in comparison. There we go.
Oh god, are you sure your viewers can tolerate that?
They tolerate me talking.
Alright, how are you doing?
Thank
you for having me on the show.
Hey, you, Ninja, basically anybody on my server is welcome to join, but I know you are actively out there working on stuff, various ideas, short stories, novels, nonfiction, all kinds of crazy
I may,
stuff.
I may lack the ability to focus on one project for enough time to complete in one go, but I can say this: I'm never bored.
Ninja Weasel says, "Hey, it's that Shaman Langham guy."
Oh God, they found me.
He already knew where you were, so.
Oh, oh. Hello, Ninja Weasel. How are you? Yes, I can stop looking out my window every 5 seconds.
Look, when the drone strike hits, you won't even notice it's happening. It'll be over too quickly.
Oh boy!
So what have you been working
Anyway,
on lately, my dude?
oh, this, that, and the other. Do you mind if I start from the top and you can tell me to stop whenever you feel like it?
Go for it. Get it out of your system, man. Let the world know. This is what Shaman Langham is doing.
So, anyone who remembers me, and if you do, you have my sincerest pity. I'm working in RPG Maker VX Space, and I've just started learning how to code things. What's the word? Not masterfully, let's say adequately. So, long story short, I've been doing a lot of coding in tributes to games like Final Fantasy, just features that make things more, because I'm going to be completely honest here. RPG Maker is not something you normally see AAA games published in. So when you want to make something in RPG Maker, if you want it to have any kind of following at all, everything needs to be polished to a mirror finish. You have to make it all. Oh, and there's my little hot blog on there. Probably not safe for work if you're still working at this time. You have my pity again. Oh, and elizibar is focusing on my first entry, just a long diatribe on how to make a game function the way you do. And it's a lot like, I don't want to condone abuse of anything or any animal, but like banging on a stubborn car engine until it finally runs. Like, will you please do what I want? And that involves a lot of coding. I'm not going to get super into the nuts and bolts of it. If you want, you can read my blog on Hive. That's Crazy Rob on the Hive blogs. I welcome all viewers. We'll be ranting about video game tropes and how to make a decent game in RPG Maker, but the long and short of it is there's a whole lot of stuff that I need to do before I even dare to try and put out another demo.
Yeah.
On that note, moving right along.
Ooh, the demo note? Are we about to talk about a demo?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I need to do before I put a demo out. There's, like I said, you have to have it to a mirror polish, and if anyone's watched elizibar's first go around at my attempt at a demo, there were a lot of errors and points where things not only went the way they weren't supposed to, but the game just shut down. And nowadays, we've gotten complacent with games, I feel, where we're willing to rush something out the door and then we'll release patches when people start complaining about how it's crashing. And call me a Renaissance man, call me someone with nostalgia goggles, but that's just not acceptable. And that's all I'm going to write on that subject before I drive all of elizibar's viewers into a boredom-induced coma. Moving right along, aside from that blogging and the writing exercise, this was a bit of a humbling experience for me. You all know that I'm working on a novel, and for a time, I would just need to go back and do some trimming here and some editing there, but there comes a time where you have to look at something you've done, even if it's your precious little baby, and you have to sit down and ask yourself, would someone need to be bribed or threatened to finish reading this? And unfortunately, after reading through it several times, the answer I came to was yes.
Oof.
So that was, what did I say? It was like 115,000 words that I would need to either bribe or threaten someone to sit down and finish reading. And no amount of trimming or going back and making little touch-ups would save that. So in those situations, as hard as it may be, you have to dump the old and busted and start over. I had a flawless protagonist that had no character flaws, always knew the right solution. I had villains that wouldn't have fit into the most grimdark Saturday morning cartoon. And when you get to that point, you have to realize that the reason you're not getting published isn't because there's no market for it. It's because you're not offering good enough product. So you can skip the sad violins. It's just a little exercise in learning to start over, back to the drawing board. And it's a harsh lesson. It's one that every artist has gone through. God only knows how many artists have looked at something they've spent hours on and realized it's just not going to make it even into an amateur gallery. How many sculptors have things they poured their heart and soul into that just never made it? You see it in every single medium. And you just have to have that courage to discard all those years and start over.
You went like robot blurt mode on us there for a second.
Robot blurt?
Yeah, you totally, you've been a little like fading in and out of being a robot just a little bit, but then you just kind of went like, it was like a duck honking or something, man. I don't know. What is going on over there?
I don't have a duck anymore. They made me get rid of that. I'm sorry if I sound like I was sputtering utter nonsense. Then, well, you probably got off easy. Am I coming through clear okay, or?
Yeah, you're fine now. It's just you broke up there. It might have been like my internet or something. It's been acting kind of funny too. So
Long story short, folks, for your sanity and your eardrums integrity, you're probably better off reading my blog than listening to me rant. So, elizibar, thank you for having me on your show to give my little rant on gaming and writing. I will turn it back over to you now.
okay, I was just showing the title screen to Pariah's Creed here from when I played through it. Good times. I guess he's already left. So that means I should probably.
I'm still here.
Oh, you're still here. Hey, yeah. So there's Pariah's Creed. What did you think about me AFK playing it for like 18 hours to just grind through all the boring parts?
I can't really fault that. I mean, that is old school preparation at its core, and it's a lot more. What's the word I want to use? Honest. In a lot of the games you see nowadays, one I'm going to mention, Shin Megami Tensei for Apocalypse. You can get all these DLCs that allow you to essentially forego all the grinding. You can pay to win, basically. You can have these little side missions that pay out ludicrous or items that directly increase your attributes, and it's nice to have a side quest that provides boost in your growth. But when you sell a win button to someone, when you make this game that has that goes through this plethora of balancing and rebalancing and testing just how far you can push the player until a situation becomes unwinnable, and then trying to sort it out into different difficulty categories, and then you go and make DLCs that allow you to overcome that. It just cheapens the whole thing. I don't want to make a game where that kind of intense grinding is necessary, but still, it's the preferable outcome to just selling DLC that amounts to a win button.
I would agree with that. I gotta say, I did like the way Mass Effect 2 did some of their DLC, like adding Zaid. Like, sure, you're getting a new character and stuff, but you can only take like 3 people out with you at a time anyway, so it doesn't make that much of a difference. But like his story mission, his little storyline and stuff was actually kind of cool, and he had some very snarky dialogue, and that actually added. Like, I think I got Zaid for free. I don't remember anymore, so I didn't actually have to go buy him. But he was like, he's definitely one of those characters that is like, yeah, I really dig that. Like, you follow his quest, he does that ultimate revenge stuff. Then, for whatever reason, I talked to people, and they're like, oh man, when I was playing Zaid's mission, I had to go, like, rescue the miners that were dying. And I'm just like, why? We're there for one purpose, to kill a guy. I don't care about those miners. They're nobody to me. My shepherd's already a paragon. I don't need the paragon points. We need those renegade points. And so you go with Zaid through the mission. You give the middle finger to the miners, and they all die horribly for whatever stupid plot reason. That's something that we should talk about, too. I know you were just like, oh, I'm going to turn it over and leave. But no, you don't get off that easy. And, you know, you go through it, and you get down to the end, and Zaid is there, and he's the guy that betrayed him is there. And you get that ultimate bit. If I just type, like, Zaid and then his line, is it going to come up with a YouTube video? I hope it does. And I should also look at my chat here while I'm not showing my screen. Ninja Weasel, last thing was him talking about learning sea shanties. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much his life right there, is just sea shanties. Let's see. Is this what I'm looking for? Oh, I think this is what I'm looking for, yeah. So, you get down here to the end of this thing, and do we have sound? Did I mute the sound or something? Yes, I did. All right.
Yeah, you muted
you a favor. Zaid, please! I'm gonna die.
The guy's begging for his life here. And you can't hear this probably.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, burn you, son of a bitch. And then he flips the heat sink out. One of the great payoff moments in video game history right there. And Zaid is so cool. He doesn't look at the explosions or anything, man. He just walks away. He doesn't watch the guy burn. It's just mission accomplished. Time to go home. Because Zaid, even while getting revenge, is a consummate professional. Oh gosh. Hey, I just saw Ninja Weasel's comment here. When Jade did that mission, she went with Zaid the first time, and then 2 minutes later, oh my god, I can hear the miners screaming. Restarts mission. Yeah, see, everybody seems to be squeamish. It's like, but we're not there for those people. Yes, I understand you have to be a goody-goody and stuff, but Mass Effect forces you into these dichotomies. False choices. Perfect example. You've played Mass Effect 1, right, Mr. Shamalingam?
I played a little of it. That was back when I had a very old and busted laptop, and it was more of a slideshow than anything else, unfortunately.
All right, well, I will describe things in vague terms without spoiling anything, although you probably know the plot line. So at some point after... no, after's not... That's not a good way to phrase it. At some point towards the end of the game, At the section right before you go to like the final battle stuff. So you're at the point where you're getting ready to do cool stuff, and so you're in the process of doing some slightly less cool stuff, which is still really awesome because you're there shooting a million dudes, fighting an army, just being a beast, because that's what Shepard is. Shepard is a beast, which is kind of funny because the name Shepard kind of implies that it's protecting against beasts, but whatever. And so you go in and you're doing this mission, and you have to split your team up into two groups. And one group goes to do thing A, the other group goes to do thing B. All right? You with me so far?
Yep.
So, when you get to this point, you have to pick, hey, do I save group 1 or do I save group 2? Because you can't save them both for whatever stupid reason. You've got a spaceship full of dudes. In fact, you have a spaceship that can fly, and you can move it wherever you want. But you can only rescue 1 or 2.
So, forced drama, like,
Yep.
kind of thing that makes no sense according to the game and mechanics that we've abided by for the whole game. Like, why can't we just drop a Phoenix down on Aerith? Spoiler.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. And it's basically there to force you to make a decision tree choice. Like, you have to go down this path or this path. And ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't actually affect the plot of anything. Except it kills one character off, depending on which choice you take. Which means that in Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, they had to go do whole scenarios where either of those characters are dead. So they had to bring voice actors back for dead characters. Because in your playthrough, you may not have either one of those two people would be dead, and you would not see their dialogue. In the other choice, that's the person you saved, and you're going to get their dialogue. So it's like you've just kind of wasted money. You're paying the same stuff down the road, resource-wise, as a company. You're writing a scenario just for forced drama. It's no good from a gameplay perspective. Maybe somebody disagrees with me and is willing to like throw down on that point of how that decision was like crucial to their Mass Effect experience. But I don't think such a person exists. And you see this kind of thing in video games all the time.
Yeah. It always boggles my mind where you're in this RPG and you have these mechanics set up where, oh, you were set on fire and impaled through the chest by a mini boss's great sword that was as big as he. No problem. Let's chuck a couple of healing spells your way, maybe a potion for good measure, and you're good to go. And then we have someone take one gunshot in a cutscene, and everyone's falling all over them and saying, "No, Joe Smith, you were the best guy ever. Please don't leave us. Please open your eyes." And the sad music plays.
Oh my god, they got Joe. Brutal. Yeah, I'm not even talking like what you're saying there with pure game mechanics. I definitely agree. Like, if there is a game mechanic way out of a situation, the game design should recognize that fact and allow you to pursue game mechanic way to resolve situation. But I'm just talking like you have these binary A/B choices: do this or do that, and you never get to pick the third way. Have you played Fallout 4?
I have not, unfortunately.
Okay, do you have any, like, are you averse to some spoilers? Because for this one, I have to spoil stuff if I'm going to use this example.
It's been out for more than 2 years now. It's fair game.
Okay, well, I'm not going to spoil in-game or most major plot points. I'm just going to kind of spoil the Nuka World Raider stuff a little bit, which is probably good for you if you ever start playing it so you know what you're getting into. But if you go into... Oh man, maybe I'll spoil a little of the in-game plot too. But not too much of it. Like, not details, just kind of like overarching philosophical points. But if you go to do Nuka World, and you start going through that plot, if you've already met the Minutemen, you've just now made them a permanent enemy, and you can no longer do Minutemen stuff. So you, by pursuing the DLC that you have downloaded and checking out the content, you have now basically excluded one possible ending of the game.
And you're not forewarned of this beforehand, I take?
I think you get warned in a dialogue choice, like the menu option might say something like, "This will make Preston mad," or something like that. Like, it's obvious that you're, by siding with raiders, you're going to make the people that hunt raiders mad. But why should it? Think about it. You are now the leader of 3 gangs of very violent troops. The other faction, the Minutemen, is an army. What do armies need?
I'm going to say better healthcare plans.
Fair
No?
point. I was thinking troops, but that is a fair point. Better healthcare plans are definitely good. You know, you know. But yeah, you need bodies. You need soldiers. Well, guess what? When you take over the Nuka World gangs, you now have 3 small armies. You should totally be able to do something like that. And then that creates further drama down the road because they're going to clash stylistically with the Minutemen troops because the Minutemen are trying to be like a real army, whereas the Nuka World gangs, one is a gang of people that like to skin people alive, one is a gang that thinks they're animals, and the other are like hardcore operators who actually would get along with the Minutemen pretty well, now that I'm saying this. So you got these 3 very disparate gangs, and you're the boss. You're the overboss. You can tell them what to do.
So jerks, quirks, and mercs.
Yeah. You should be able to be like, yo, we are going to go be the army for the Commonwealth, and then you can station your raider troops around at the raider camps that exist in the game, which if you want to build settlements at the raider camps, you have to go down the raider plot line and thus exclude yourself from anything else. Which means if you actually start going down that and then you betray the raiders, you now have a bunch of hostile encampments built up all over the territory. So it's kind of crazy.
Yep. But I'm seeing where you're going. They still have the speech chances in Fallout 4, I take, correct? Where
yeah, if you take like perks and stuff, you get that kind of thing. Like there are perks that make you better at talking to people. Like if you go full charismatic or something, by the time you're at Nuka World, you should be able to talk them into this. Being like, yo, what if instead of murdering everybody, we murdered people that were trying to kill our friends, and then we taxed our friends? We've now just invented the nation state.
Yeah, and that would, if you could have that, bringing the Nuka Raiders into the Minutemen and having a chance to resolve it with either skill set, charisma, or just shooting down the people who try and, what's the word, abide by their old faction's way of life, which you should never, ever do in real life. I'm just going game mechanics here, people. If you could have that instead of just this either for the Minutemen all the way or against them, where there's no third choice, then that's a little bit more diversity. That's a good reason to try out different play styles. You just, this A or B with no choice C just kind of seems like lazy running. And I realize that you can't explore every single possible scenario in the game. There's only so much memory, but still.
Yeah, that your point is exactly right. Like they sold. I feel like that is an incomplete product because of that. They sold me this thing with infinite possibilities. I'm playing, as Eli Easy says in the chat, my character can talk people into jumping off a bridge for no reason. Exactly. Like, you can be a completely insano speech monster in that game. You should be able to talk people into almost anything. And I think convincing those raider gangs would not be that hard. Like the animal gang, if the leader there doesn't want to play ball, guess what? You kill him, and you're now the leader of the pack, and the rest of the pack has to do what you say. If you go to the gang of psychopaths that like to skin people alive, I'm forgetting what they're called. They over in their area is also the best weapon in the game, man. I love that knife. That is the best knife. I've killed behemoths the biggest, nastiest things on very hard with that knife. It's awesome. But I digress. You go talk to them, and they don't want to play ball. You just shank their leader. And once again, you keep what you kill. You're now the leader over there. Anybody who disagrees, you shank them. That's how their gang is ruled. It's all force of violence. It's terror. And if they're scared of you, they'll do what you tell them. And then the other gang, I think they're called the Operators. Yeah, I did kill a vertibird with that knife. That is true, Ninja Weasel. And then the other gang, the Operators, they roll in and they're in it for the money. So what if you could pay them and they don't have to go out and get shot at all the time? Wouldn't that be amazing? As a mercenary, wouldn't you take like a pretty cushy gig that still allows you the opportunity to go hunt down other raiders and take their stuff? Like, you're getting a cushy gig, you're being paid a stipend all the time, you leave these people alone, and you go shoot all these other people and take their stuff for yourself?
Yeah, that would make it a whole lot better. It would, you could appeal to force, and long-term financial gain. But again, playing devil's advocate here, there's only so much room in a game, only so much data allowance for this scenario and that scenario, and I know I'm flipping on both sides here, but you have to strike a balance between data conservation and just how much content you can put into a game and steering clear of these A/B choices.
All right, we're gonna hit another Fallout 4 one, because this one has to do with the end game. So as you approach the end of Fallout 4, you're introduced to 4 factions. I wonder if that was a deliberate design decision because it was literally Fallout 4. I'm not sure. It probably was. Somebody clever probably went, you know what? We should have 4 groups for Fallout 4. So one of those groups is the Institute. They're the obvious bad guys. They live underground in the Institute. They make robots for literally no reason except it's funny to do experiments and have them kill people. And yeah, they're bad. Then there's the Minutemen, who I've already mentioned, and they want to be like, the army. They want to set up a stable government, or actually more like a stable meta government that helps protect all the fledgling governments in the Commonwealth. So they want to be like the international peacekeeping force and collect money from everybody. Then the third faction is the Brotherhood of Steel. Naturally, it's a Fallout game. They have to show up at some point. And they're there because the Institute is basically doing bad things. And they hate technology that they don't control. And then you have the Underground, the Railroad, and they exist solely to get those robots that the Institute makes out. So they're just saving robots. Now you tell me, of these 4 groups, which ones can get along? Do you think maybe the Minutemen and the Brotherhood of Steel could somehow get along? Because the Brotherhood of Steel is literally there to destroy the Institute. That's their mandate. Now, they also probably want to conquer things, but they're kind of far from home, and all they have is the stuff they could fit on one airship. Probably they could strike a deal with the Minutemen, where somehow the Minutemen become like an affiliate of the Capital Wasteland Brotherhood. And so now you've got like the 2 rising sections of the East Coast allied together as a single sort of political union. That would be a really smart thing. And I can't believe that the Elder doesn't know that. Or you could have, say, I don't know, the Institute and the Minutemen roll together. That's probably a harder sell, but the Institute replaces people with robots. You're telling me they're not going to replace the leaders of the Minutemen with robots? Come on, yo. Come on. Ultimately, like, these different factions could pair up in interesting ways and come together and be like more than just like what the actual ending is. Because if you go play through the game, it forces you. You basically have to pick one side to be the one who wins.
A zero-sum game.
Yeah, there's no way you, this incredibly popular individual who has risen through the ranks of the Brotherhood, the Underground Railroad, the Institute. Like, if you're me, I went as far as I could in each plot line before I started having to pick choices. I think it's the mass fusion mission where you have to like start alienating the different sides. But there I am. I run the Minutemen. I'm like Elder Lyons is like, maybe not number 2, but is like number 3. I'm like his most trusted operative, you know? The Underground Railroad loves me because I have went and done all kinds of crazy stuff. And the Institute, I'm like the chosen heir for leadership. It's like I now am effectively running these 4 factions or close enough to it. You're telling me that I can't find a politically stable solution with myself?
Apparently not.
Apparently not. So, yeah, those kind of false dichotomies kill me because there's no reason for them. When you go into a game and you're forced, like, you have to pick left or right. Yeah, you've seen the Batman movie that had Jim Carrey, right? Was that Batman Forever?
As regular, I saw a little bit of it. Yeah, my
So
memory's kind of
here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You're the protagonist, okay? You in these games are the protagonist. As a protagonist, your job is you get to upset the status quo. You break the rules. In the Elder Scrolls universe, there's this concept called Chim, which is like what Vivek is. He realized he was a character in a video game. And thus, he realized that he's not actually bound by the rules because he understands the universe, so he can hack it, and so he can do whatever he wants. So at the end of the Batman movie I'm thinking about, the Riddler has like Robin suspended over like one death pit, and he's got somebody else suspended over the other death pit. I forget who. I'm blanking on it right now. Is it Batgirl? Am I thinking of the 4th Batman movie now? No, I'm not, because that one had the bat nipples, and that's not the one I'm thinking of. Okay. Anyway, so there's like person suspended over death trap here, person suspended over death trap over here. Now you as Batman, you have to pick. Do you save person A or do you save person B? Which do you pick as Batman?
both.
Correct. There is always, when you're a protagonist, there always has to be a third way. You have to be able to break the boundaries of the universe, or you're not really the protagonist. If you can't say, I'm going to forge my own path, whatever that is, you're not the protagonist in the story. Somebody else is, because they're the one that gets to break the rules and set the parameters for the story that you're trapped in. If you can't do something that is difficult sheerly by force of you being the protagonist, then you're just not the protagonist anymore. That's just how it works. Go read any great work of fiction and look at what the protagonist does. Like, I don't know. Let's go Lord of the Rings, right? You have this hobbit. He's a little stubborn dude, and he's got to carry that ring all the way to Mordor. He has a lot of help on the way, including one person who is like his conscious, and then he's got the other person who's like the anti-conscious, Gollum and Sam, right? And at the end, all the rules of the universe say he's been carrying that ring for so long. He puts the ring on. But somehow, because he did not kill Gollum, because of a choice he made to show mercy, the ring gets destroyed. He found the third way accidentally. But it was his choices, his motions, the things he did that set all that up. That's what being the protagonist means. Your choices set everything up, and you get to do things your way, even if it's accidental. You don't just fall into corruption because you put the ring on. You put the ring on, and something happens, and it gets you out of the situation.
And while we're on the subject of Fallout 4, one thing I liked about New Vegas, do you mind if I diverge a little bit?
Oh, go ahead.
One thing I liked about New Vegas is that you have all these groups you can ally yourself with. the Legionnaires, if I'm remembering, the was it the New California Republic?
Yep.
You have what's his name? The guy in Crime Resistance.
Oh, you mean Mr. House?
Mr. House. Sorry, brain fart there. You have Mr. House, and then if you run into one of the characters, Yes Man, he points out, if you ask, that it's possible to say no to every other group and decide that you're going to take control of the wasteland.
Yes.
And I didn't go that route, but it was still nice to have that choice to be able to say, no, I don't like any of the other options. We're doing things my way now. You all had your chance, and the world is still a blasted brown hellscape. Now we do the things the courier way.
Yeah, absolutely. That is one of the great treats of that particular Fallout game, is it treats you, the player, with great respect. There are lots of strange things you can do in that game. But, like I was just saying, how in Fallout 4, like, I ended up, like, running, like, 4 different factions, or close enough to it. Like, come on, I did the same thing in Morrowind. Awesome game. But, you get, like, all that stuff. Well, in New Vegas, you kind of do the same thing. You can go around, and you make lots of friends. You can befriend the Great Khans, you can befriend the Boomers, and so on. And so now you have all these groups that will come to your aid. These are all friends, they're all allies. And you can kill them, or you can befriend them. Or you can just ignore them. That is also pretty much an option. And so the game respects your ability as a person. You befriend the Boomers, you go dig that B-52 or whatever it is up off the bottom of that lake with them, and then at the final battle at Caesar's Dam, they roll in with the bomber and help you out. It's one of those great moments in gameplay where it's just like, yeah, my choices actually mattered here.
Oh, I'm right there with you, Ninja Weasel. One of the mods I enjoyed for New Vegas was one that reinstituted that. I don't know why they would do that. It just seems so contrary to both groups, Mr. House's rationality and the Brotherhood's devotion to stability. That was one of my sore points with the game.
All the Brotherhood stuff in New Vegas seemed underdeveloped, I think is the right word. Like, it seemed like they were starting to get there, and then for time constraints, they just had to stop. That's how I feel about that. But you know what? They had to take time so they could go make, a mod where you go after treasure in a hotel. Or not a mod, a DLC. Everybody loves that DLC, right? I'll take that as a yes. Dead money. Dead money. I hate that DLC so much. One of these days I'm going to have to make Ninja Weasel play through it just so I can watch him just die inside. It'll be great. That's the best DLC. Ninja dude, I don't have to be in the same room with you to know that, like, you just lost, like, part of your lifespan right there while typing all this. Oh, anyway, the whole point of this discussion is, if it's possible as a game designer, you should avoid those false choices and seek the third path, or at least make it possible for a player who has done everything right to find that third path. It can be pretty difficult too. There's actually in the Mass Effect games, there's kind of that dichotomy. Or not dichotomy. There's kind of that situation in the choice of some of your followers. In Mass Effect 2, I forget which followers it is. I think it's Jack. You have to be like full renegade to keep her on your team. Because she and Miranda have a falling out. You have to be like full renegade for one of them, and then full paragon for the other. Otherwise, you lose one, and thus you get kicked out of the best possible ending. But your choices as a player can get you into that situation to where you are in that state where you've got enough points in one side, enough points on the other side that you can keep them both on your mission, which means when you go to the final mission and you do the crazy... Mass Effect 2 is one of my favorite games because it's essentially a heist movie as a game. So you spend almost all of it putting your team together, and then you go on the job. And that job just happens to be breaking into the bad guys' base and killing them all, as opposed to stealing something. But you get to go on the job, and if you have everybody, then you get the real, the truth, the ending where nobody dies. Everybody makes it out of there with, alive, with the stuff. It's very rewarding to get in that position. And in that case, the game designers did put in that kind of thing. So yeah, there's small black threads of corruption growing out beneath your fingernails. Yeah, I believe it. So in that case, they nailed exactly what I like in games. They made it a very hard thing that if you pull it off, is very rewarding.
Earn your happy ending.
Yeah, Ninja Weasel. I think he both of your Paragon of Ring is high enough. I think you have to have a high of both. I don't remember if it's maxed out or something. Or maybe one of them is maxed out and one's not quite. But yeah, like I pulled that off the first time I played it. I was so happy. I think I might have been able to pull that off because I imported my save game from Mass Effect 1. And I had I think I just straight up save game edited or something, and I had maxed out stats on both, just for the lulz. But whatever, I don't remember anymore. That was like a decade ago. Good discussion about storytelling in video games, and I'm not going to keep you here much longer, my dude, because I kind of want to head out. I am actually really tired. But
Understood. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on with literally no notice. I just saw when you were in the chat, it's like, yeah, we got to make this happen.
And it was fun. Thank you again. And goodbye to all of Elizibar's loyal viewers. Thank you for tolerating my presence.
Legit. Oh, thanks again, man. And I think we're going to wrap it up here, everybody. We haven't had Space Church music for 30 minutes now as we've been ranting about video games. But, hey, every stream should have Batman in it. And we got some Batman right here. Look at this. Look at those crazy bat ears right there. That actually looks kind of Sam Keith-ish right there, doesn't it? Wait, it says Kelly and Sam. Is it actually a Sam Keith cover? It doesn't say on the inside cover, but it might be. That looks like it anyway. I'm going to get out of here. You all take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time. And, yeah. I'm Outsky. That's Russian. It means out. Man, it's so weird without Space Church music.